The things that psychologists have discovered, even though they didn't really think it through all the way and haven't understood its full implications, is that there's very little difference between being self-conscious, so let's say thinking about yourself and being concerned about yourself, or for that matter, even being aware of yourself. Those states of being, thinking about yourself, being concerned about yourself, being aware of yourself, they're absolutely indistinguishable technically from negative emotion. There's no difference between being concerned with yourself and being miserable. Those are the same thing. In fact, one of the things that being miserable does is make you self-conscious. And so one of the corollaries of that is that you're certainly not going to find your way to the meaning that will sustain you through life by concentrating only on what it is that's you and what you want, or what something fractured and broken and partial and desirous and impulsive within you wants. You want to meld that all together into some form of higher integration. Maybe that would characterize a well-integrated personality, but then beyond that, you weld that into all the different levels of social community, right? Which is why, for example, you're in service to your husband or to your wife within the confines of the marriage, and both of you are in service to your family. And that's all not merely a restriction on your domain of subjective freedom. That's such an appalling way to think about it, because that makes the people you love into burdens that do nothing but get in your way, which is not a favor that you're laying at their feet, instead of opportunities, which is really what they are, to find through the love you have for them a much higher expression of yourself than you'd ever manage in any way if you were only concentrating on what you or something in you wants right now. And we've done a very, very bad job, and this is certainly true of the psychological community, of pointing out the relationship between harmonious existence, let's say in relationship to being, which is a better definition of mental health. We've done a poor job of pointing out the relationship between that and the adoption of these higher order forms of social responsibility. And that's probably, even to some degree, that's a consequence of Enlightenment influences and its stress on individuality in the West, but also characteristic of a kind of consumerist hedonism that's also part and parcel of a modernistic, materialistic society. You know, and it's good to have good things and all that, and to live life more abundant in the material sense, but if all you're after is the next bout of material gratification, you're going to be a never-ending cycle of, well, what desperate pursuit of something like infantile satiation, which isn't going to satisfy you anyways.
I wonder, George, do you find this, that the religious people themselves, and of course